Let's start today's discussion, and I think all of you have already seen the title of today's session, planning grammar focused classroom activities. So again, I am just welcoming once again all our teachers who have joined recently. So welcome all. Let me share our previous section. So we have conducted our last session that was on teaching grammar. আমরা জুলাইতে এই সেশনটি করেছিলাম, and most of our teachers, our KRPs, you have joined the session and participated very well. So I just wanted to have a quick recap of the session what we have discussed earlier. So that session was also on the process of teaching grammar, how to teach grammar, and in that session we have discussed about importance of grammar. We have focused on how grammar helps us to communicate clearly and communicate effectively, and after that we have discussed some challenges, where you have also shared some challenges that you face in the classroom while teaching. Students also face difficulty like a lack of opportunity in to use English language in the classroom. That is a major challenge shared by you. Remembering the and following the grammar rules, that is also a biggest challenge in learning English language, and also fear of committing mistakes. So we have discussed about all these challenges and how to overcome these challenges. We have shared some classroom activities which are very easy to follow, and also children will also enjoy and they can participate in the activities. So to teach how to teach grammar in context, we have taken some examples of a few activities like how to teach if clause, imperative sentences, and adverbs. So likewise, today's session is also focused on grammar, but that is something different way, how to connect the stories or prose or the textbook contents with grammar teaching, how to focus on grammar. But before going to the session, I would like to take a poll. There will be a poll coming on your screen. I hope that is visible on your screen. You can choose the option you think which is most suitable, and you can share your answer. যে এই পোলটার এগেইনস্টে আপনাদের যা উত্তর মনে হচ্ছে যে সুইটেবল হবে, আপনার যেটা সুইটেবল মনে হচ্ছে আপনারা ক্লিক করে আনসার সাবমিট করতে পারেন. So the question I will repeat once again the question: which technique would you prefer to teach grammar? চারটে অপশন আছে, you can choose your option as per your preference. I will take just 1 minute to submit your answer in this poll. Thank you so much. I think we have already received 4 answers. Some of our teachers are still there. So I request everyone, there is a poll coming on your screen. So try to share your answer, share your opinion. That will be very helpful for us. So, okay, great. We have received some, most of your answers. So I am ending the poll, and here is the result. So I think maximum some of our teachers, they have shared taking examples from stories and poems and teach grammar in context. So 43% teachers prefer that. And also some of our teachers prefer giving examples and then discussing the rules. They also prefer this option also. And one of our teacher, that he or she is just feeling telling the rules and then giving examples is suitable for teaching grammar. So thank you so much for sharing your opinion. And in today's discussion, we will try to discuss regarding the same issue, how to teach grammar. We all know that grammar teaching is definitely very challenging for us, and also for our students also, learning grammar and trying to try to follow. They also face difficulty while following the grammar rules in English learning, or while communicating or reading or writing. So today we will try to understand how can we reduce these challenges and how to teach grammar in context. While teaching the stories or poems, how can we focus more on grammar? Today we will discuss on these two objectives, to identify the competencies of grammar and to integrate grammar while teaching a story. Before starting our discussion in detail, I would request Rajesh ji to join us, and he will be with me in this discussion today. So welcome Rajesh ji in today's session.
Thank you, Daibi, and welcome to all the teachers from Tripura. आप लोगों से एक बार फिर से जुड़ के लंबे समय के बाद बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है मुझे. ग्रामर का एक टॉपिक है और Daibi gave the reference to our earlier session. We had talked about how to teach grammar, what are some of the challenges, and had taken some example of activities also. Today we are planning to deal with एक जो इशू होता है वो ये होता है हमारे साथ कि ग्रामर की एक्टिविटी तो बना लेते हैं, लेकिन उसमें क्या अचीवमेंट हुआ, क्या सिखा दिया हमने, ये इसको लेकर के कई बार कंफ्यूजन होता है. सो वी शुड बी वेरी क्लियर अबाउट व्हाट वी वांट टू टीच एंड व्हाट काइंड ऑफ activities we are designing. Welcome Vishnudev sir. I hope now you can hear us.
Yes, he can see us all. We can also see him.
That's great. Yeah. That's great to see you. We will listen to you also. आपको आपकी बात भी सुनेंगे. जूम पे जुड़ने से ये एडवांटेज है कि हम लोग एक दूसरे से बात कर पाएंगे. Now there is, I think all of us are there with our audio and video enabled. जो लोग अपना वीडियो ऑन कर सकते हैं, please switch on your video also so that हम एक दूसरे को देख सकें. So the first part of our session, Daibi, will be to understand कि अगर ग्रामर की कोई एक्टिविटी हम कर रहे हैं तो उससे कौन सी कॉम्पिटेंसी अचीव कर रहे हैं. Because we have so many things to teach in grammar. We want to teach preposition, we want to teach noun verb agreement, we want to teach number, we want to teach gender. There are so many things that we want to teach, but at times we get confused कि अभी इसके लिए जो एक्टिविटी बनाई इससे नंबर का काम हो रहा है या नंबर और जेंडर दोनों ही का काम हो जा रहा है. Sorry. And then in the second part, because in the new NCERT and CBSE structure, grammar teaching के लिए कोई अलग से टाइम पीरियड अलॉटेड नहीं होता है, कोई क्लास भी अलॉटेड नहीं होता है. So what we are expected as a teacher, it is expected from us when we are dealing with a poem. जब हम poem पढ़ा रहे हैं, जब कोई story पढ़ा रहे हैं, जब कोई essay पढ़ा रहे हैं, while doing that we should be able to teach the grammar. So today we will take an example of a story and we'll try to see with the help of that story how can we teach certain elements of grammar. So let me move ahead, Daibi, and I will share one particular activity. Just look at this picture जो अभी आपकी स्क्रीन पे दिखाई दे रहा होगा. इस पिक्चर को आप लोग देखिए and try to think about this picture कि इसमें क्या हो रहा है. Feel free. I mean there is nothing written there. वहाँ पे कुछ भी नहीं लिखा है. You think about कि इस पिक्चर में क्या हो रहा है, आपकी समझ से इस पिक्चर में क्या हो रहा है. And let me invite to Madam Nandita Saha. Madam Nandita Saha, I'm asking you to unmute. Please accept the request. Yeah. Now, my question to you, इस पिक्चर को देख के आपके मन में मैडम क्या आ रहा है?
Actually, I have seen that
in this? Yeah, please continue.
someone is learning violin from his teacher, from her teacher, and other children are looking at them. Actually, this is a story, I think.
Yeah, that's very good. Thank you, Madam Nandita. Now we will move ahead, and here are some options which will come on your screen. There are some words. These are all words which you can use to describe what is happening in the picture. Words you can easily see: curious, obedient, expert, naughty, strict. Now think about कि आप ये क्लास में कर रहे हैं, अपने स्टूडेंट को ये पिक्चर दिखाया आपने, और फिर उसके बाद ये वर्ड्स उनके सामने आ गए स्क्रीन पे, या आप बोर्ड पे भी लिख सकते हैं. That depends on your choice. And then you ask them to use this word, any one of these words, to talk about picture. इस पिक्चर के बारे में बात करना है आपको, एक सेंटेंस में अपनी बात कहनी है, and you have to use one of these words. इसमें से कोई भी एक वर्ड चुन सकते हैं आप. You can select any word. So now I would request Shyamal sir, please sir, accept my request, unmute yourself. Shyamal sir.
Oh, hello.
Yes, Shyamal sir. So I hope you understand the question. You have to frame a sentence. एक sentence बनाना है आपको इस picture के बारे में using any one of these words.
Okay.
तो कौन सा sentence बनाएंगे आप?
Okay. A student is being taught by his teacher. Her teacher. The teacher is an expert in means teaching violin.
Okay.
So
Teacher is expert.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Expert is the word. I have taken the word expert from.
okay, that's it. Thank you, Shyamal sir. So see, this is how you want your students to perform in the classroom. आपने एक पिक्चर दिखाया, उस पिक्चर पे उनको ये कुछ ऑप्शंस दिए, and you ask them to use any word and write one sentence. एक सेंटेंस यूज करना है. Now let's see कि मेरे क्लास में जब मैं पढ़ा रहा था तो क्या रिस्पॉन्स आए. दोइबी, क्या रिस्पॉन्स आया मेरे क्लास में, कितने सेंटेंस बने?
So sir, अभी तक तो 2 सेंटेंस बने हैं. One is shared by Shupol sir and Shamul sir. That is, a student is learning to play violin from her expert teacher. So sir ने expert word यहाँ से use किया है. और मैम थी, मैम नंदिता मैम ने शेयर किया कि नंदिता मैम ने बहुत सारे सेंटेंसेस शेयर किए हैं. उसमें से मैंने जो ये नॉटी वर्ड था वो मैंने उठाए कि हर फ्रेंड्स आर वेरी नॉटी एंड दे आर पीपिंग थ्रू द विंडो. सो
that's great. Very good sentence, Nandita ma'am. So if you can go to the next slide, Doibi.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, these are the 3 sentences. For example, your students met. You ask them to make sentences talking about this picture using one of these words, and they have met these 3 sentences. Can you read these 3 sentences easily, Doibi?
Yes, these are very easy sentences. So the first sentence is, the girl is very obedient to her teacher. So we can see that in that picture. Her friends are very curious. So definitely we can see their curiosity कि उस रूम में क्या चल रहा है. They were very curious and वो लोग विंडो से देख रहे थे. And third sentence is, her music teacher is very strict. So that is also visible in that picture.
So
Teacher
now Doibi, my question to you as well as to our friends, the teachers who have joined with us, is that इस एक्टिविटी से ग्रामर का कौन सा कॉम्पिटेंसी अचीव हो रहा है. लेट्स थिंक अबाउट इट कि एक पिक्चर दिखाया, एक पिक्चर दिखा के कुछ ऑप्शंस दिए, सर्टेन वर्ड्स के ऑप्शंस दिए, एंड देन आई आस्क्ड द स्टूडेंट्स to write one sentence using any one of these words, and they have written sentences like these. 3 एग्जाम्पल है यहाँ, और एग्जाम्पल्स भी हो सकते हैं. 1 or 2 examples that our teachers gave in the session just now. So इस एक्टिविटी से कौन सी कॉम्पिटेंसी, ग्रामर की कॉम्पिटेंसी कौन सी अचीव हो रही है, दैट इज व्हाट वी नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड. इंग्लिश लैंग्वेज टीचिंग में क्या अचीव होगा इससे.
राइट. और हमारे टीचर्स यहाँ पे नंदिता मैम ने चैट बॉक्स में शेयर किया है एडजेक्टिव्स. सो वेरी गुड, थैंक यू नंदिता मैम. बाकी टीचर्स भी चैट बॉक्स में अपने आंसर शेयर कर सकते हैं, या कोई अगर वर्बली शेयर करना चाहता है तो यू कैन रेज योर हैंड. वहाँ पे एक ऑप्शन भी है जूम में, तो यू कैन रेज योर हैंड ऑल्सो. तो राजेश जी, जैसे मैं भी देख रही थी इन सेंटेंसेस को. सो एक तो है कि डेफिनेटली पिक्चर्स से हमने ये सेंटेंसेस बनाए. सो वी कैन ऑल्सो से कि वी आर ट्राइंग टू फ्रेम सम सेंटेंसेस ऑल्सो थ्रू दिस एक्टिविटी,
Good.
using the vocabulary given in the picture, using the context of the picture. Shyamul sir, he has shared that subject, verb and object.
Yeah, so
The
when
structure.
you are making a sentence, so उसमें subject, verb, object तो आएगा ही. So very good, Shamal sir.
Yeah. Adjectives, subject, verb and object is there. I think yes, some competencies are there.
So Doibi, if
Yeah.
we look at language teaching में ये बहुत important होता है कि किसी भी चीज को देख के, किसी भी ऑब्जेक्ट को, किसी भी पर्सन को, किसी भी पिक्चर को, किसी भी इवेंट को, घटना को, जहां कहीं कुछ हो रहा है. सपोज आप दुर्गा पूजा के मेला में गए, अभी आने वाला है, जल्दी ही आएगा.
Yes, just
और
1 month.
दुर्गा पूजा में आप गए और वहां आपने पूजा देखी, एंड नाउ योर टीचर आस्क्स यू टू डिस्क्राइब इट, टॉक अबाउट दैट.
Right.
So to be able to talk about something which you are looking at or which you saw is a necessary capability. बहुत जरूरी होता है लैंग्वेज में. और इसीलिए यूजुअली यू आस्क अबाउट कि अच्छा अभी छुट्टी में गए थे, समर ब्रेक था, समर ब्रेक में क्या किया लिख के बताओ, दुर्गा पूजा में क्या किया लिख के बताओ, छुट्टी में कहाँ गए थे बताओ. So I mean these kind of questions indicate the importance of talking about your experience, which can be your personal experience, which can be looking at a picture, which can be talking about a context. So एक context में एक picture को देख के अपनी बात कहना, this is very important competency of language teaching. And of course grammar की competency जो कि सवाल था हमारे लिए. So that part, I think we got the answer. Adjectives का use हो रहा है, subject, verb, object हो रहा है, sentence formation हो रहा है. So see, what is happening is that grammar teaching simply doesn't mean talking about कि adjective क्या होता है और adjective को कैसे use करते हैं. We never, I mean in this activity, I didn't talk about anything कि एडजेक्टिव क्या होता है, सब्जेक्ट वर्ब एग्रीमेंट क्या होता है, सेंटेंस कैसे बनता है. व्हाट आई डिड वाज एक पिक्चर दिखाया, उस पिक्चर पे बात की, कुछ वर्ड के ऑप्शंस दे दिए, एंड सेंटेंसेस बन गए. एंड इन द प्रोसेस ऑल दीज ऑब्जेक्टिव्स हैव बीन अचीव्ड.
राइट.
सो दिस सीम्स टू बी अ प्रेफर्ड वे. आजकल जो अभी जिस पेडागोजी की बात हो रही है, जिस तरह से पढ़ाने की बात हो रही है, दिस इज द पेडागोजी दैट इज बीइंग रिकमेंडेड by NCERT, by our state boards, or by any other organization which is working in language teaching. Yes,
और सर इसमें आई थिंक वो प्रेशर भी नहीं रहता कि बच्चों को एक पर्टिकुलर रूल्स याद करके फिर उनको सेंटेंस फॉर्मेशन में जाना पड़ रहा है, या कोई पर्टिकुलर ग्रामर आइटम यूज करना पड़ रहा है. दे आर जस्ट watching the picture or seeing the picture and trying to engage themselves.
Yeah.
So I think
rules याद करना, I mean yes, if I can recollect from my early days, from my school days, तो खूब rules हमने याद किए थे. But I also remember कि सारे rules याद थे, फिर भी जब हम लिखते थे या बोलते थे तो गलत बोलते थे या गलत लिखते थे. I think our teachers can also confirm this, that most of the times we remember all the rules. जब भी हमसे रूल पूछे जाएंगे हम बता देंगे, but when we start talking we commit mistakes. So knowing the rules or memorizing the rules is not the solution. बजाय उसके अगर हम इसको लैंग्वेज को प्रैक्टिस में ले आए थ्रू एक्टिविटीज like this, or there are 100 types of activities, this is just one example.
Yeah.
So that will be much more effective. Now, the second objective of the session, Daivi, was to use story to teach grammar. Now, that seems very interesting to me. Let's try to see how it can be done. So if we move ahead and see, or rather listen to a story which is part of our textbook, part of our Tripura textbook or Tripura syllabus.
Yeah, right. I think all of our teachers, they are familiar with this story. So let's watch a video on this story. And
Just
we
for
will
a few minutes, maybe 1 minute or 2 minutes, because we all know this story.
Yeah, right.
A gift of chappals. Mridu is a young girl living with her grandmother Tapi and grandfather Thata in Chennai. Mridu goes along with her Tapi to her aunt Rukumani's place one afternoon. There, she meets her cousins Lalli, Ravi, and Meena. Everyone at Rukumani's place was glad to see Mridu. Suddenly, Ravi dragged her to the backyard, where there was a thick bitter berry bush. Ravi took Mridu beside that. There was a small kitten inside a torn football. The cat was busy drinking milk that was
Thank you,
kept
Dorothy.
inside
Now
a
I think our teachers can recollect this story. All of our teachers are familiar with this story of gift of chappal, where some children are there and there is a beggar, there is a music teacher, and all that is happening. Now, coming back to our earlier exercise, Dorothy, in earlier exercise, हमने जो किया था वो ये था कि एक पिक्चर दिखाया, कुछ वर्ड्स दिए और स्टूडेंट से रिक्वेस्ट किया कि भाई इस पे सेंटेंसेस बना दीजिए.
Right.
और उन्होंने 2, 3, 4, 5 सेंटेंसेस बना दिए, जैसे कि यहाँ भी हमारे सेशन में बन गए. But we don't want our students only to write sentences. We also want them to be able to write a paragraph, an essay,
Story.
a story.
Right.
So जब हम उनको स्टोरी लिखने के लिए बोलते हैं तो what happens with these students is that they have learned how to write a sentence. So वो एक सेंटेंस लिखते हैं, फिर दूसरा सेंटेंस लिखते हैं, फिर तीसरा सेंटेंस लिखते हैं. So they write 10 different sentences and think that the story is complete. But actually वो story नहीं होता, वो 10 sentences होते हैं.
उनके बीच में कनेक्शंस कम दिखते हैं. राइट.
तो ये चैलेंज होता है.
राइट.
और इसको कोहेजन के प्रॉब्लम के रूप में जानते हैं. लैंग्वेज टीचिंग में इसको कोहेजन का प्रॉब्लम बोलते हैं. एंड फॉर दैट देयर आर सर्टेन डिवाइसेस एंड टेक्निक्स लैंग्वेज में जो यूज होते हैं, कुछ तरीके हैं जिसका हम इस्तेमाल करते हैं. सो लेट्स सी. इस स्टोरी में आई अज्यूम दैट ऑल ऑफ अस have read this story. We are familiar with this story. So now on the next slide, a number of sentences from this story are coming before you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There are 9 sentences, but they are not in order. ये उल्टा पलटा लिखा हुआ है, पहले कुछ हो गया है, फिर बाद में कुछ हो गया है. You have all read this story, so my request to all of you is to find the correct order. For example, if you think that 7 should be first sentence, so you can write it 7, then 4, then 9, then 2, and put it in the chat box.
I
जो
think
भी order.
Yeah. I think all of our teachers, they are able to read this. तो चैट बॉक्स से में आप लोग लिख सकते हैं. And even, sir, I think some of our teachers, they can share also by unmuting themselves which line should come first.
Okay, so
Yeah.
let me try it with Sujit sir. Sujit sir, can you unmute yourself? I'm requesting you. Sujit Devnath sir. No, probably he is not able to listen to me.
Someone has joined like Redmi. सर
Okay.
आप सर या मैम पता नहीं चल रहा बट आप अपने नाम भी
Sorry.
बता सकते हैं.
Redmi sir, can you switch on, unmute yourself?
Yeah. Hello, ma'am. Hello, ma'am.
Hello.
नेटवर्क इशू है थोड़ा, वॉइस ब्रेक हो रहा है एक्चुअली.
Okay, then please use the chat box.
Yeah, I think.
So I think have we got some answer? First will be number 8.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
great.
first
Thank you.
will be number 8. Mridu went to her aunt's home to meet her cousins. Right, Ravi, Lalli, and Meena. Okay. So any idea ki which sentence should come after this? So हमने स्टोरी ऑलरेडी आई थिंक ऑलरेडी कुछ हम में से कुछ टीचर्स स्टोरी जानते हैं एंड थोड़ा सा वीडियो के पार्ट भी हमने देखा. सो जस्ट ट्राई टू कंप्लीट इट. इसको ऑर्गेनाइज करने की कोशिश करते हैं.
Doibi, why
Yeah,
don't
let
you
me try.
also try?
Yes, sure, sir. So I think after, first of all, Mridu went to her aunt's home, and then she found, like, sentence number 6. She found that Ravi and Meena were secretly feeding a kitten every day. So after that, this is the second sentence. Third sentence, I think. Lalli was trying to ये भी नहीं, she was very nervous, ये भी नहीं होगा. Sentence number 9 should come at third place. कि while talking about the kitten, they heard a weird music. And okay, before that, sentence number 5 should come. कि Ravi was sharing his portion of milk with the kitten. And then it will be key sentence number 9. While talking about the kitten, they heard a weird sound. And after that, I think Lalli's music teacher was teaching her to play violin. And Lalli was trying to adjust the tone with her teacher. She was very nervous. Sentence number 2. And her teacher, sentence number 4, he was beating his foot on the floor with the music. So this is the organized. I have organized this like this.
Let me check whether you are organizing it correctly with Shamal sir.
Yeah.
Shamal sir, please unmute yourself.
Sir, according to me, numbers 8, 6, 9, 5, and then 7, 1, 3, 2, 4.
Good. Thank you, Shamal sir. So दोयबी अभी आंसर क्या आया? Can you tell us कि ये सही क्या है? Can you go
Yes.
to the next
Next
slide
slide. Yes, this
and
is the
see? This
answer.
is how it is arranged now.
Yeah, it's in 8, 6, 5, 9, 1, 2, 3, 7, and 4.
Oh, so that is what
Yeah.
Shyamal sir was saying, I think.
Yeah, almost correct.
Yeah. So see,
Yeah.
one thing that is important in making a story, एक कहानी को कहानी बनाने के लिए एक सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट बात जो होता है कि थिंग्स शुड बी रिटन इन अ पर्टिकुलर ऑर्डर. ऐसा नहीं कोई सेंटेंस कहीं भी लिख दिया. नाउ इफ यू स्टार्ट टीचिंग दिस कि नहीं ये सेंटेंस यहाँ लिखो वो सेंटेंस वहां नहीं होना चाहिए, तो दैट बिकम्स वेरी बोरिंग एंड डिफिकल्ट फॉर स्टूडेंट्स टू अंडरस्टैंड कि ये क्यों कह रहे हैं यहाँ लिखो, यहाँ नहीं लिखना था, ये बाद में लिखना था, ये वाली बात पहले बतानी थी. Suppose you ask them to write a paragraph or an essay and they have written it. अब उसमें से a teacher is suggesting that this is not the beginning, this should come in the middle, and what you have written at the end, that should be the beginning. Now student gets confused कि why should it be like that? Now if you are doing it with the story which the student has read, वो पहले उसने वो कहानी पढ़ी है या सुनी है या वीडियो देखा है या आपने बताया है, whatever, you can ask them to read the story first and then give this exercise on the board or maybe in a worksheet कि इसमें बताओ कौन सा पहला नंबर होगा, कौन सा दूसरा नंबर होगा. Now here what they need simply to do is go back to the story in their memory. उनको याद करने की जरूरत है, अच्छा पहले क्या हुआ था, पहले वो मृदु जो थी वो अपने आंट के घर गई थी. So okay, this will be number 1. Number 8 will be the first sentence, and accordingly the whole story will be arranged in order. But still, despite कि ये सही order में है, the correct order is there, but still it is not a story. If you read it, you find that there is something missing. It's something like I was hungry, food was on the table, I started eating, felt happy, and went home. I mean, you can understand मैं क्या कह रहा हूं, ये आप समझ तो सकते हैं, but this is a very poor story, boring story है. ऐसा story पढ़ के तो नींद आ जाएगी.
Right.
So what can be done to make this story a bit more interesting? And now I would request
Vishnu sir.
Vishnu sir. Okay, Vishnu sir, please unmute yourself. Yes. सर ये यहाँ पे अभी सेंटेंस तो सही ऑर्डर में हो गया.
अच्छा. हाँ.
लेकिन अभी भी ये पढ़ के मजा नहीं आ रहा है, अच्छा नहीं लग रहा है, ये बोरिंग स्टोरी लग रहा है. तो क्या करना चाहिए, कैसे इसको इंटरेस्टिंग बनाएं? कुछ कर सकते हैं क्या?
तो इसमें कुछ पिक्चर डाल जाएगा, डालने से ठीक हो जाएगा.
पिक्चर डालने से ठीक होगा, लेकिन अभी तो सर हम इंग्लिश लैंग्वेज की बात कर रहे हैं, ग्रामर की बात कर रहे हैं. कुछ इंग्लिश में ग्रामर में कोई ग्रामेटिकल आइटम कुछ डालने से चलेगा क्या? कुछ फायदा होगा?
नहीं सर.
Okay, thank you Vishnu sir. So this is a good idea. If you have a story and if you add some pictures to the story, students start liking that story. उनको पिक्चर देखने में मजा आता है, हम लोगों को भी मजा आता है. जहां भी मौका मिलता है, we look at the pictures, we talk about pictures, we write about pictures. But if we have to make it more interesting, there can be another option also.
Yeah.
Now let's think about an option. ये एक exercise करते हैं and request all of you to choose your answer. That will be either number 1 or number 2 or number 3. Mridu, Ravi and Meena were talking about the kitten, and then there is a blank space. They heard a weird sound. Now you have 3 options and you have to choose. Number 1 is meanwhile. Number 2 is also. And number 3 is however. We have got one answer from Shyamal Dev sir. That is number 1.
Number 1.
विष्णु देव सर भी नंबर 1 कह रहे हैं एंड नंदिता मैम भी नंबर 1 कह रही हैं। दोई भी आपको क्या लगता है, नंबर 2 3 हो सकता है क्या?
I think also they heard a weird sound. Also we can add also, but I think जब हम कुछ ऐसे कनेक्ट करना चाह रहे हैं कि उसी सिचुएशन के साथ कि हाँ ठीक है उन्होंने वो भी सुना, वो थोड़ा लाइट मे बी आई थिंक ऑल्सो से वो हो रहा है कि थोड़ा लाइट साउंड कर रहा है कि फोकस थोड़ा कहीं और जा रहा है। बट आई थिंक इफ वी एट मीन वाइल कि मृदु, रवि एंड मीना वर टॉकिंग अबाउट द किटन एंड मीन वाइल दे हर्ड अ वियर्ड साउंड, सो वो हमें इंडिकेट कर रहा है कि उसी समय हमें सुनाई दिया। So I will also go with meanwhile.
So now this example is there जिससे हम sentences को suppose I mean I would have written it like this: Mridu, Ravi and Meena were talking about the kitten, full stop. एक sentence तो ये लिख देता मैं और दूसरा sentence लिख देता they heard a weird sound.
Right.
Grammatically correct है, इसमें कोई problem नहीं है. Now what I am doing is I am combining the two sentences and using a connector meanwhile. इसका मतलब क्या हुआ? इसका मतलब ये हुआ कि जब वो बात कर रहे थे उसी समय उन्होंने एक weird sound सुना। अगर इन दोनों सेंटेंस को मैं अलग अलग लिख दूंगा तो that will mean कि वो बात कर रहे थे, उन्होंने एक weird sound सुना। उसी समय वाला जो कॉन्सेप्ट है, right at that time when they were talking, that will be missing. And this I am achieving by using this connector, which is a cohesive device. Cohesion बनाने के लिए, स्टोरी में जोड़ने के लिए, कनेक्ट करने के लिए ये कनेक्टर होता है, and I am using this connector meanwhile. Now if we try to think on this line though, और जो हमारा स्टोरी है जिसको हमने अभी बनाने की कोशिश की थी, but it was just a number of sentences. Now let's try to make it a story. I have suggested certain spots जहां ये connectors जोड़े जा सकते हैं.
जो
There
blank
are
spaces
options, yeah, 1 2 3 4 5 and 6, and there are 6 options also on the right side.
Right.
So I would request our friends to think about it quickly, and I'm coming to you one by one. So now I will go to Nandita ma'am. Nandita ma'am, please unmute yourself. Yeah. So in number 1, blank number 1, what is your choice, ma'am? क्या लिखना चाहेंगे आप यहाँ? इस 6 में से that, also, there, meanwhile, however, but.
There, sir, there.
There. Very good.
Oh.
Thank you, ma'am. Now I will go to Vishnu Dev sir. Vishnu Dev sir, please unmute yourself. Yeah, great. So number 2 में आप क्या लिखेंगे sir?
She also found that होगा sir.
Great, very good.
Great.
So Vishnu Dev sir, thank you. Now I'm coming to Shyamal sir. Shyamal sir, please accept my request.
Number 3 would be there.
There. Okay. There तो मैडम ने पहले चूज कर लिया था नंबर 1 के लिए. So would you like to choose some other option, Shyamal
Okay.
sir?
Let me help कि जो आंसर सिलेक्ट हो गया है ऑलरेडी मैं उनको मार्क कर देती हूँ.
First one, I think first one would be meanwhile.
Meanwhile, yeah, great. Thank you, sir. I don't know. Let me check. Sujit sir, can you hear me? If you can hear me, please unmute yourself. I have requested you. No. Seems he is not able to hear me. There is some problem. So, Doibi, ये 3 तो हो गया, 4 पे क्या होगा? Can you tell me?
Yeah. So I think, however, Lali was trying to adjust the tone with her teacher. So,
Okay.
however,
ओके और 5 के लिए मैं फिर से विष्णुदेव सर के पास जाता हूँ. विष्णुदेव सर, 5 पे क्या होगा?
Lily was very nervous. However, Lily was trying to adjust the tone of the teacher.
But
हाँ सर, बट
yes, sir. But
okay,
but
okay. Thank you, Vishnudev sir. And the last one is for Nandita ma'am again. Nandita ma'am, please.
also,
Also. Okay. That's great. So see, now it reads like a story. If you now read it, it will not be like Mridu went to her aunt's home and then she found that, and then she also found Ravi was sharing, or they heard a weird sound. Now you have connectors. So this use of these words makes the story a running thing. वो अभी पहला लाइन से, पहला सेंटेंस से लेके लास्ट सेंटेंस तक एक मूवमेंट दिखाई दे रहा है स्टोरी में. स्टोरी इज मूविंग लाइक वाटर फ्लोज इन द रिवर स्मूथली. अगर ये कनेक्टर्स हम नहीं यूज करेंगे तो ये जो स्टोरी है ना, ये जर्की होगा. एक सेंटेंस फिर दूसरा सेंटेंस, वो इफ यू अलाउ मी, दैट विल बी समथिंग लाइक मंकी जंपिंग. वो बंदर को कूदते हुए देखा है आप लोगों ने? सो ऐसे एक बार जंप करेगा, फिर दूसरा जंप करेगा, फिर तीसरा. दैट इज नॉट रिदमिक. वो स्टोरी का जो रिदम होता है ना, वो मिसिंग होगा. जब आप ये कनेक्टर लगा देंगे तो वो आराम से, जैसे पानी ग्लाइड करता है ना, या रिवर में फ्लो करता है, वैसे रिवर में फ्लो करेगी स्टोरी आपकी. नाउ सी व्हाट डिड वी डू विद दिस. इस एक्टिविटी को अगर आप देखेंगे तो पहले तो एक स्टोरी दिखाया, स्टोरी को दिखा करके सेंटेंसेस को उल्टा पलटा लिख दिया, बोला इसको ऑर्डर में अरेंज करो. दिस इज द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग फॉर राइटिंग अ स्टोरी और अ पैराग्राफ, कि सही ऑर्डर में होना चाहिए. बिगिनिंग होना चाहिए, मिडिल होना चाहिए, एंड होना चाहिए. नाउ वंस दैट इज देयर, देन द नेक्स्ट इशू इज स्टैब्लिशिंग कोहेजन, कि उसमें जुड़ाव हो, आपस में कनेक्शन हो. उस कनेक्शन के लिए कुछ कनेक्टर्स के एग्जांपल्स लिए, कुछ ब्लैंक क्रिएट कर दिया, विदाउट टीचिंग एनीथिंग लाइक कंजंक्शन क्या होता है, कनेक्टर क्या होता है, कोहेसिव डिवाइसेस क्या होती हैं, ऑर्डर ऑफ सेंटेंसेस क्या होता है, स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ सेंटेंसेस क्या होता है, एडजेक्टिव क्या होता है. वी आर अचीविंग द ऑब्जेक्टिव्स ऑफ ग्रामर टीचिंग और इंग्लिश लैंग्वेज टीचिंग. सो दिस इज द आइडिया. जो जिस पेडागोजी की अभी बात कर रहे हैं, we talk about communicative method of language teaching, we talk about constructive approach to teaching. Now this is the example. This is just one example. I'm sure आप लोगों के पास और सारे examples भी होंगे, इसके पहले भी आप लोगों ने डिस्कस किए होंगे, आप ऑलरेडी काम कर रहे हैं. So just try to focus on grammar in this way. So if we can move ahead and have this poll.
yeah, we have another poll that is on your screen. You can share your answer. अभी हमने cohesive devices के बारे में राजेश जी ने बात की. So what according to you will be the suitable answer की how cohesive device help us in writing? So there are 3 options to achieve accuracy, to build linkages between the situation, to increase effective communication. So that is the opinion poll. So I think we have all 5 answers. So I'm ending the poll. Here is the result.
So 4 out of 5 of our friends are saying that it builds linkages. One of our friends says it increases the effectiveness of communication. Sir, जब भी आप कोई काम करेंगे, करेक्टली करेंगे, तो कम्युनिकेशन तो इफेक्टिव बनेगा ही, एक्यूरेसी भी बनेगी, बट पर्टिकुलरली जब हम कनेक्ट कोहेसिव डिवाइसेस की बात करते हैं तो कोहेजन की बात करते हैं। कोहेजन का मतलब, इफ यू लुक एट द रूट वर्ड इज कोहियर। कोहियर का मतलब चिपकना होता है। जैसे वो गम लगा के चिपका देते हैं ना पेपर को, या सेलो टेप से, या बोथ साइड टेप से आप दीवार पे पोस्टर्स लगाते हो, दैट इज कोहियर। सो जब सेंटेंसेस को एक दूसरे के साथ आप कोहियर कर देते हैं, कनेक्ट कर देते हैं, चिपका देते हैं, दैट इज व्हाट कोहेसिव डिवाइस इज। सो कोहेसिव डिवाइस का रोल इसी में होता है, टू कनेक्ट द सेंटेंसेस। नाउ इफ यू लुक एट दिस एक्टिविटी that we did just now, what we did, students को पहले तो स्टोरी दिखाया। आप स्टोरी दिखा भी सकते हैं if you have the facility, if you don't have the facility you can tell them the story, आप सुना सकते हैं। if you don't want to tell them the story you can ask them to read the story, ये उनके टेक्स्ट बुक में है, सबके पास अपना अपना बुक्स है। once they have read it, then write those sentences either on the blackboard, अगर टीवी है तो उसके स्क्रीन पे ले आइए, या फिर यू कैन हैव द वर्कशीट ऑन अ पीस ऑफ पेपर जो आप उनको दे सकते हैं प्रिंट करके। नाउ आस्क देम टू रीअरेंज इट, कि इसको इसको ये ऑर्डर में नहीं है, इसको अरेंज कीजिए। once they have asked it, rearranged it, then ask them to read their sentences। फिर उनको वो बताइए जो मैं अभी आपको बता रहा था ना, कि ये जंपी है, जर्की है, स्मूथनेस नहीं है। सो ट्राई टू मेक देम फील द गैप, जो मिसिंग एलिमेंट है, वो उसका इंपॉर्टेंस उनको फील होना चाहिए कि ये यहाँ नहीं है इसलिए गड़बड़ हो रहा है। सो यू कैन गिव देम 1 or 2 एग्जाम्पल्स, कि चलो यहाँ पे देखो तो बट लगा के देखते हैं फिर कैसा होता है, अरे ये तो अच्छा हो गया। नाउ गिव देम 1 or 2 एग्जाम्पल्स एंड दे विल अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट डू यू मीन, एंड देन गिव देम सम ऑप्शंस, कि चलो ठीक है ये ऑप्शंस है, अब देखो इसमें कहाँ कौन सा यूज करना चाहते हो, एज वी डिड इट नाउ। गिव देम अ फ्यू मोर एग्जांपल्स लाइक दिस टू वर्क अपॉन। You can give them some worksheets also. They can work individually, in pair, in groups, or you can work with the whole class also. So I mean, इस पे जब आप काम करेंगे तो maybe in 2 or 3 classes you will be able to achieve this objective, this goal. And see, what are we achieving by this activity? हम adjective का यूज करना सीख रहे हैं, हम sentence formation सीख रहे हैं, हम reordering और order of sentences सीख रहे हैं। We are using connectors that are actually conjunctions. Technically grammar में आप उनको conjunctions कहते हैं।
Conjunctions.
And then we are finally learning how to write a good story, an interesting story. And simultaneously we are developing the comprehension of the story also, जो उनके टेक्स्ट बुक में है। So ये 3 दिन में इतना सारा ऑब्जेक्टिव अचीव कर सकते हैं हम, if we can try to do this, and these things are easily available to you. You are all aware of it, कि ये content कहाँ available है। Doibi will tell you at the end of the session also, on our app, on our website, or if you are finding any difficulty, getting any problem in that, please contact us, please write to us, please approach our team members. Now, Doibi, we had a plan to have this session a bit longer, but because of the initial hiccup, so ruke lagbhag 15-20 minutes, because of technical issues, we could not start the session. So I would like to hear, and I will request you and all the teachers here to let us know, can we continue or should we close this session? Because we have one example of how to teach grammar using story. So should we close it here?
I think Vishnu sir or Shamal sir, Sujit sir, you can share कि आपनদের যাই opinion থাকুক कि Nandita ma'am is there, so you can share कि हम लोग continue करें या फिर आप यही तक रखना चाहते हैं। I will try, definitely I will continue, the session is going quite interesting. Nandita ma'am, any opinion? I think I'm just requesting you to unmute. You can also share in the chat box also your
Yeah, I
opinion.
mean, some teachers may have their classes also, as Nandita
Classes.
ma'am is saying. So, okay, Daibi, from my side, it's done. I would request you to formally close this session and allow our teachers, because we had requested for about 1 hour, 15 minutes, and we are almost close to that. So rest of the things we can do sometimes later.
Yeah, and we can continue this session in our, we conduct these sessions monthly basis. So we can continue these sessions, and some contents we can share through our WhatsApp also.
Sure.
So as Sir Rajesh ji was sharing ki, where can we get this kind of content? So we have Pragyan app where you can find these kind of teaching ideas and worksheets. So you can download it from the Play Store, Pragyan app, and you can also access class any content in English from class 6 to 8. So you can use this. We will share the link also. So we have discussed these two parts today. We somehow we have taken one examples, but we have tried to identify the competencies, how to identify the competencies, like we have identified the adjectives from the first activity, and then how to plan a class for focusing on grammar. So राजेश जी ने बहुत अच्छे से हमें समझाया भी कि how we can integrate grammar item with a story while teaching a story. So I think we have all of us, we have understood the process. So just one request, ki we have a WhatsApp group, we share continuously, we share weekly contents in that group. You can also ask your requirements in that group. You can share your questions there. So we will definitely, we will try to respond. And you can also watch our YouTube sessions in our YouTube channel, and definitely we have already talked about the Pragyan. And thank you so much. We will organize this kind of session in next month also. So please stay with us, stay connected with us. And Rajesh ji, I would like to thank you also for conducting this.
Thank you, Daibi.